Hello. Oh, I don't know why I was invisible there, but now I'm not. Hello and welcome to another episode of Rose Guns Days. It is Thursday yet again. I don't know what happened to the rest of my week, but I don't know. It just feels like we have two Thursdays in a row. Um, but more Rose Guns Days for me is what that means. So that's not a bad thing. Hello, Kat. How are you doing? Let's see. Do I need to? Nah, I don't need to scooch. I don't think. I think I'm good. If I'm blocking what you're saying at any point, let me know so I can adjust. But it should be okay. Happy Thursdays is right. Yeah. Why don't we just dive right into it? I'm yeah, I am roughly in the same, you know, physical-ish 2D space as usual, but I did have to make another model for another video, so I'm a little I moved around a little bit. I don't know if you can tell, probably not. Just making sure, you know. Oh, interesting. Oh. Huh. Everything's a little delayed today, and I don't know why. Might just be my brain. No, it's probably a very, very subtle difference, and because I know what to look for, I can see it. But you know, it probably doesn't matter. What does matter is that we're playing a game with some mature themes, including, well, I say including, but these are pretty all-encompassing as of yet, as far as we're aware. Content warning for violence, gun violence, racism, sexual content including references to assault, misogyny, alcohol abuse, and characters dealing with trauma, depression, and other mental health issues. I'm going in blind into this story, and that means I cannot give you more detailed warnings for what's going to happen in this episode, but I have a YouTube channel where I upload all the VODs, including more detailed content warnings if they are necessary, which hasn't been the case recently. Lucky for us, honestly, because we're focusing on some kids, some teenagers at the moment, and I don't want anything bad to ever happen to them because they're children, which became a bit of a theme during last week's episode because these are children in a criminal organization. Yes. Not only that, but apparently what we learned is they're no. Oh, I hope I didn't trigger like a death flag or something. Oh god, you're right. Anyway, these children are expected to keep pace with grown-ass adults in the same criminal organization. Specifically in Wayne's branch of Primavera, which is named, what was it? Something Wolves. Was it Lone Wolves? They have Lone Wolves in there for sure, because of course they do. So we also made fun of Wayne a lot for his naming sense, but yeah, these kids are not treated as children at all, and treated as if they are lesser than the adults for being children, which they are, in fact. So they're not too happy about that, understandably. But also they are children. So what is Wayne doing? You know, I don't understand. Oh well, I'm sure this won't go wrong. Meanwhile, we also had a very, I'm not sure if tense is the right word, but it part of it was tense, but it was more like 5D chess. Um, it was a bit of a standoff in a way, but everything was like going according to plan at the same time, specifically for Rose and Richard, while they were talking to Meiju about what to do with the employment agency and jobs for the people they are trying to protect, essentially. And they worked out a deal. It's all going to be fine. But for a second there, it was really tense. And I thought maybe they were gonna end up disagreeing with each other. And, that didn't happen in the end. But that could serve as some foreshadowing, you know, further down the line. If this deal goes wrong in the end, oof. We might be looking at a bit of a faction war, yet again. About to switch to bully mode, yeah. I hope that doesn't happen, but, we do know what he's capable of, him and that iguana of his. We have yet to see it eat a person, but we've been, you know, we've been yelling for it to for weeks now. Yeah, that's definitely a savage iguana for sure. If that, okay, for real though, if that iguana ends up actually eating a person, I'm going to scream. I'm, not literally, I'm physically incapable of doing that. I cannot raise my voice any higher or louder than I already am right now, but I will scream internally. It would be so funny and so fucking weird, but stranger things have happened. Alfred lived through falling out of a window and getting hit by a car. So yeah, right now everyone's a little bit sad because they just got dunked on by adults for not being as capable as adults, despite being teenagers. I feel like Alfred would be the only one to live through an iguana's digestive tract, yeah. He's basically a cockroach at this point, in terms of survival instinct. I hope he never comes back, because then I don't have to do this terrible, terrible fake accent. That was deliberately terrible, yes, but I still don't enjoy doing it. So yeah. I bet, yeah. Yeah, you would love that. You would love to see me suffer. He's probably going to come back, let's be real. Otherwise he would have just never shown up again. So we can definitely expect him to become relevant at some point, or at least like a throwaway joke. It's true, yeah. It's definitely better than Meryl, I'll give you that. Oh, and I am still figuring out the voices for these three kids. I have no idea what I'm doing. And that's okay, because I don't know. This is my hobby, you know, who cares? I care a lot, that's why I bring it up, otherwise I wouldn't mention it. But I just want you to know that I care a lot, and I'm doing my best. We're off to a good start. This is me stalling. Alright. Cannot for the life of me remember how Zell sounds. I think it's just... you know what? I'll just wing it. It's worked for me so far. Younger Rose? Oh, interesting. I hadn't thought of it that way. Oliver, what on earth happened? The three plopped themselves down on sofas and just lay there. Instead of answering Zell's question, Oliver just stared at the ceiling. For a while, no one answered, but eventually, Nina spoke from a rocking chair. We got some background last time on what they used to do or want to do within Primavera. And apparently Nina sucks at being a lady of the evening, which makes sense because, again, teenager. And Charles is the pickpocket, who is not allowed to pickpocket. And yeah, they have to find something else they're good at. Which, again, they are teenagers, so it's gonna be rough for them.
With the failure of a lady of the evening, and the pickpocket not allowed to pickpocket, well, it goes without saying that we're talentless and have nothing going for us. But Oliver is different. He used to be serious, a passionate studier.
You mean a nerd?
A man completely different from the two of us who couldn't do anything.
So, nerd.
So, what made everyone scorn him so much? To be perfectly honest, I was really mad. Why should you have to be mocked like that when you're fellow wild dogs?
It was wild dogs. It was wild dogs, not lone wolves. I'm sorry. I will take note of that and do better next time. He throws so many animal names around, I can't keep them apart.
Oliver tried too hard. He admired Wayne-san more than any of the rest of us. He wanted to be acknowledged by Wayne-san before anyone else. So that backfired on him? He was too impatient to earn credit for something? Well, he definitely tried too hard.
Guys, he's right there. I'm... Okay. Oh. Sorry, there's a rant incoming again. I was simply a rat, unable to become a wild dog, much less a wolf. As his eyes stared at the ceiling, the days of his past mistakes flashed by them. What? Oh, whoa, hold up. I was not prepared. Keep in mind, I haven't done this minigame in literally over a month. And you can tell from the timers that my high score is gone. Damn, Oliver. The drunk's massive body flew, and the whole table was overturned. The store was filled with the sound of bottles and plates breaking, and the screams of customers caught up in the mess. Hey, what happened to all that bragging, you drunk bastard? I'll teach you that you can never just do whatever you please while I'm in the same store. I'll make it a good, hard lesson, so you'll never forget. Damn, he kicking.
And so, he beat the crap out of the guy. The guy was a family man and took 3 months to heal. Had to bribe the cops, pay the guy's medical fees, and compensation for lost work. In the end, Wayne-san and the others were forced to apologize. Oliver went too far. Everyone else was just too soft. The other bodyguards tried to calm drunks down and get them to leave quietly. But you just suddenly started beating the crap out of him.
In Wayne-san's day,
No one was that much of a chicken.
I'm not sure that's true, Oliver.
Look, he's talking about Wayne-san's era again. Drunk or not, they're still customers. You did it in front of a lot of other customers. When you mess up the customers, you mess up the store. Of course, the double whammy was that fewer customers came after that. Even bodyguards are workers at the store. What's the point if you end up hurting their business? It was so important for you to be stronger than the other bodyguards, you just kept spinning your wheels. For a while, Oliver was sort of on edge.
Hey, Oliver. Where'd you go? He's so mini Wayne, though. Surely Wayne realizes that.
I don't need people to slow me down.
I settled things myself.
Yourself? You mean you went alone? Didn't Wayne-san tell us to go together?
It may be necessary for weaklings like you to gather together. However, that has nothing to do with me.
Hey, you just said you settled things. What exactly did you settle? And how?
Oliver was acting unconcerned, but he was covered in scratches and showed clear signs of having been in a scuffle.
He was in no mood to talk. So, I simply followed the law of the wolves.
Jesus. Wayne, what are you teaching these children?
You beat him up? Did you forget the brat's got the GDS backing him? And how could a short-tempered bastard like you hope to smooth things over anyway? We knew the guy was looking for a fight all along. Wayne-san's orders were to stop that from happening, weren't they?
I'm more than enough for a job of this level. After all, I've already resolved it myself, haven't I? But Wayne said not to, though. If you like him so much, why don't you just follow his orders? Jeez, Oliver.
You...
At that moment, the entrance to the store was thrown open, and several obviously Chinese people came in. No way they were customers. A glance was all it took to see that they were members of the criminal underworld. Behind them, a Chinese boy with a horribly swelled cheek pointed at Oliver shakily.
I hear you have become acquainted with some of our boys.
Talk about bringing your parents to a brat's fight.
Crap, they're from the Golden...
Of course, we understand that this was a fight between children. If this had been a fight between adults, we would not be talking to you now. We would simply have kept our mouths shut and riddled this establishment with holes. So, is that beaten rag of yours here for a rematch?
Provoke them, moron! Somebody get Wayne-san!
Don't make a fuss, fool. There's no need to bother Wayne-san with something like this. I told you I could resolve this matter myself. Little kids shouldn't get involved.
Don't be a fool. Anyway, at the moment we...
Get back, cowards. I'm gonna make a new legend. Oliver, why? Oliver, why? What is Wayne teaching these kids?
Well, it probably would have become a legend if he'd actually accomplished anything. In the end, it became such a big mess that not only Wayne-san, but Cyrus-san heard about it. They also knew about Oliver's track record. Well, you can guess the rest. That's no good.
Oliver pretended not to be listening. The book he was pretending to read was upside down. Well, Cat, you were right all along. However, he was eventually unable to bear Zell's silent gaze. If you want to laugh, go ahead.
I won't laugh.
Please do. It'd be less awkward that way.
Oh, okay. I'll start laughing then.
Zell grinned, then burst out laughing. Even though he told her to do that, Oliver seemed shocked.
Well, that's boys for you. You guys run wild with youth and screw up all the time.
Hey. Is that how that works? I feel like I've been being a boy wrong. Don't you go saying whatever pops into your head just because it doesn't concern you.
Do you want to worry about it? Do you want to get depressed? I don't think so. You want to clear your bad name someday and get Wayne-san to acknowledge you. Isn't that how you really feel? Over and over again, you sulk about, then get impatient again and screw up the exact same way.
Forget clearing my name. Wayne-san already.
You think so? If Wayne-san hated you, wouldn't he just kick you out of the Wild Dogs right away? He didn't do that. That means he still thinks of you as a comrade.
Wayne-san thinks of me that way.
Yeah, I guarantee it. Are boys the kind of generous creatures who would hang around with people they hated without kicking them out?
I feel like I've been doing this whole being a boy thing really wrong, according to Zell at least.
They aren't, are they? The Wayne-san you respect so much wouldn't start hating you because you acted like a young person. I guarantee it.
Is that right? But Oliver had been about to lash out at her. However, Zell had been gazing at him so directly that he'd been forced to swallow his words.
More importantly, I was really pissed off today. All those people calling us dropouts. Even if you say that, we've got nothing we can brag about.
These kids, every time they open their mouths, it's like, I suck, I'm a rat, and then it goes to, I'm amazing, I'm a wolf. Pick something, guys, stick with it. I'm a bastard. Charles is just a brat if he can't pickpocket.
The lady of the evening who can't attract customers is pretty hopeless too. You're a teenager.
I want to grab them and just shake them like a salt shaker. Like, what the fuck are you what are you thinking? What's going on in your brains? Shake all the brain cells out and give them a little scrub and put them back in. It does seem a little like he's just straight up been, negging them. What the? It's wild. It's very distracting. But I'm here to read. It took me a while to get that one. No, it's just no dogs involved.
Nothing to brag about? Yeah, right. You actually do have a skill you can be a bit proud of, don't you? Even the wild dogs are talking about it. Didn't you say something about it too, Minasan? That you had no instruments you'd waste on them?
Zell clapped her hands and looked around. This place, filled with haphazardly piled instrument cases, was a musical instrument shop.
Could it be that you can all play instruments?
The old man who ran the store taught us. He was an eccentric geezer. We got to avoid the morning dew, so it wasn't a bad deal.
He was full of kind words, and even said we could live in his apartment if he practiced with musical instruments. Said something about kids having to learn music to brighten our dark future.
I said that way too cheerfully. The elderly owner of the music shop had gathered the alley boys and spoken to them. If they took music lessons every day, they could live in his apartment as long as they wanted. So the fact that they have a roof over their head isn't even because of Wayne. It was supposed to be cheerful, I guess, yeah.
Sounds like a good person. But the old guy was ridiculously strict.
About 10 people spent their nights here at first. But everyone gave up pretty soon.
After all, his lessons were tough.
I imagine his scheme was to teach us tricks and turn us into a show.
I'm grateful to him. He may have been strict, but he wasn't mean. I think of him as a great person who taught something human to a bunch of alley rats whose only talent was fishing through garbage. So, all of you can play. Wow. I want to hear.
Well, I've lost interest.
But if Zell...
Oh, it's like a, well, I've lost interest, rather than... Okay. Anyway.
But if Zell wants to hear, I'd like to do it again. Reluctant as always, Oliver. Let's do it. Doing stuff like this now and then has to be good for your fortune. Right, Zell?
Exactly.
Let's hear you play.
It's a request from Zell. Alright, let's perform a bit. Yeah, you saying he lost interest in playing, where I interpret it as him losing interest in whatever he was reading that was upside down or something along those lines. Wait, so they can each play multiple instruments? That's really cool, actually. Oh, okay, maybe not.
What'll you take?
The piano's all I can play.
Then I'll take the violin. What about you, Nina? If you two are taking those, might as well grab a string bass.
I almost pronounced that like you would, bass in the fish. You know, string bass. Cosplaying as a reader. The three of them scattered and noisily grabbed instruments from all around the room. Apparently, they'd hardly used them at all lately. As they tuned, they checked their tone and grumbled at every imperfection. This might be a bit pathetic with just 3 of us.
Who cares? We aren't an orchestra after all. We're a band of alley rats.
Okay. Guess we'll just play whatever until Zell's happy.
Yes, please do.
I love how she's just casually ordering them around, and it works. They go along with it. Come on, what? Oh no. Oh no, it looks so bad. I can't believe I'm all the way back to Triangle 1948. Whatever that means. Wooden Triangle 1948. There's not even any, like, eagles or guns or flowers. Just a triangle. The mighty have fallen. Sad.
Has there been any trouble with Chinatown since then?
It's like there was never a problem to begin with. You can bet we've got Major's order to thank for it. The special offers window must be very appealing to them. They're probably given orders to prevent any open trouble, regardless of what happens behind the scenes.
There's been no sign of movement from the GDS, but we still get little fights between low-level laborers. There's been quarrels here and there between Japanese and Chinese laborers, centering around the agency.
Even if we've got an understanding with Major, it's gonna get messy if we leave things like this for long.
I understand. Still, let's wait for Major-san's answer.
We don't have time to waste. We should push him to hurry.
No, we can't do that. I want to establish the 2 unions through the agreement of both parties. If we push one-sidedly, then even if we succeed, it'll surely lead to trouble in the future.
However, we can't leave things be either. I agree. Fist fights are all well and good, but you never know when some idiot's gonna pull out a knife or a gun.
If someone dies, it'll mean war.
Regardless of who was at fault, the GDS can't afford to look weak. If that happens, we'll have no choice but to fight back.
Even if the tops of both organizations don't want to fight, it's possible for a feud to break out. I understand that.
We cannot wait forever. It still isn't too late to set a deadline for Major-san's response, and we should do so. If he breaks it, we will deem him untrustworthy and push the establishment of the Union by force.
Unless he breaks our trust in some clear way, I can't do that.
We have no time. We need to announce the Union establishment as soon as possible and curb the influx of laborers. If we can get them out of the way, we'll be able to manage the situation. There are rumors that half of the crowd at the agency were laborers from other cities. It would be unfortunate for them, but by prioritizing residents of City 23, Primavera would be able to save the countrymen it was obligated to protect. However, without Chinatown's approval, the Chinese laborers would be kicked out as well.
Let's just wait a little longer. I want to be getting along harmoniously with Major-san when we advance.
Only the Japanese are our countrymen. I believe excessive concern for Chinese happiness lies outside the bounds of our duty, does it not?
Please, wait. Just a little longer.
If you say so, then we just have to obey. I'll have my people keep an eye out. they'll have them even more on their guards. That's the most we can do. We're counting on you, Madam and Richard. There's some internal friction happening. Correct. Regardless of how it appears on the surface, the deal we move forward with will be favorable to Primavera. However, we have no way to obtain special offers windows except through Primavera. The Council of Elders, obsessed with making money on their special offers window side jobs, are strongly hostile towards Primavera. They probably won't agree to anything Primavera proposes. In other words, we won't be able to gain those long sought-after City 23 special offers windows unless we make enemies of the Council of Elders. So, I believe the question is whether we please those VIPs in the Council of Elders or not. The person on the other end of the phone line gave Major a short answer. Major chuckled and nodded slightly. I thought you would say that, young lord. Understood. It would be quite troublesome if we were to neglect our elders. Of course, they will have placed no time limit on our answer. They have placed no time limit on our answer, but we will damage their trust if we keep them waiting too long. Yes. Forgive me. I will make efforts to do so. In that case, I will wait to hear from you again, young lord. Goodbye.
Nice work. Are you done with your evil scheming for the day?
Sorry about that. Us men always hogging the madam's time. And there she is. Yeah, Major's up to something. And chuckling about it, so good news for Primavera, I suspect.
How about a drink? I've got one ready. Boss, good work today.
Cyrus, what is this? What is your face doing? He just turned into Battler for no reason. Sorry if my avatar is bouncing all over the place, I was finishing my tea. Oh, now that ain't bad. Maybe I will help myself. Maybe I will help myself to a little. How do I do that kind of laugh in Cyrus's voice? It's I really dug myself into a hole with Cyrus's voice, because it's like the voice go up, but also it's weird. I don't know. Thank you for the save reminder. Also. Anyway. It's a good thing for me that Cyrus doesn't talk all that much. I like him though, he's great. When he isn't making this particular face. Laughs in Cyrus. Right. There we go.
Let's get in really good service today. If Cyrus hadn't quit his job, we'd all be in trouble. Leave it to me?
Stella, what the fuck?
I'll give you a special lesson in what the boss's perks are.
Nice, Cyrus. See, he really did turn into Battler. I don't know what's up with that. What? Okay. I don't know what new hole means, but I'm just gonna skip that. Some of the vocalization was like, I don't know what that would even sound like, so then I can't even begin to make that sound myself. Anyway. Leo, you bastard! I'll bet you're getting so jealous you'll be back here tomorrow.
Oh? What's wrong, Wayne? Are you going home?
I'll pass. Even as we stand here, something troublesome might be starting. There's a lot of young people looking to make a splash. Gotta keep our eyes on them all the time. Wait, if you did that better, though, you know, those kids wouldn't be in trouble in the... I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Maybe that's why he's so intent on keeping an eye out, because he already fucked up. In that case, he's learning, so good for him.
Oh. Some of those young people have gotten quite dignified, haven't they? What do you think? Being a boss makes you popular with the girls, doesn't it? They must be all over you. So, have you got yourself a harem? Swapping girls every night?
I've got... I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing. I've got no interest in women. I'm going. Letting you mock me has ruined my mood.
Looks like he's as uptight as ever. That's not true. I think Waynekin's a lot calmer than he used to be.
I mean, he is, yeah. She's right. He's only interested in rats and dogs, yeah. That's where his heart lies.
You think so? I guess even kids like that can grow. Maybe it's because he has subordinates now. I think having children changes you a lot.
Forgive me, madam. We just received a phone call from a woman calling herself Rapunzel.
Rapunzel? What could it be?
What could it be? Richard, you better not be starting to do sneaky shit behind Rose's back. I'm gonna be so mad. If you betray me, Richard, I will be so mad. I will be so mad. What if Fate was right and he is the villain? I can't. No, there's no way. There's no way. He really shouldn't be asking Wayne for fashion advice. Maybe he's gonna give him fashion advice instead. And be like, Wayne, do you have a second? I need you to remove that second scarf. It's very silly. And it does not match your ensemble at all. You know? Maybe it's that. Wayne, do you have a second? Some trouble? The information is unconfirmed, so I haven't bothered Rose with it yet, but... Rumor has it that the GDS is plotting something. Something related to the issue with the employment agency. A rumor? What are they supposed to be plotting? I don't know. I obtained it via a certain source, but the details are unknown. For all we know, the GDS is shaking our hand with a blade hidden behind their back. Understood. I'll have it looked into. Wayne got into his own car and drove away. As Richard watched them go, he sighed and looked up at the club. It's a business where dirt is bound to turn up if you poke around. It doesn't matter what. Rose, we need a card with which to force the GDS's hand. Richard, don't. Richard, don't. He's gonna stir stuff up. He's gonna fuck up. Richard's gonna fuck up. He's gonna make bad choices, and it's going to spiral, and it's going to ruin everything. I think. I don't know that for sure. That's my guess right now. I am concerned.
What were you doing in a place like this, brother? I was looking for you. Let's grab a drink.
Sorry to trouble you. I might as well have a little too.
But of course, take a little break from playing Mafia. Gotta enjoy the wonderful drinks, the wonderful singing, and wonderful music.
Yeah, it seemed like he just kind of lied to Wayne a little bit. I mean, technically it wouldn't be a lie if no matter where you look you'll find something, but I heard a rumor from a certain source. Definitely not true, apparently. That's fucked up. I just realized that these kids can drive, so they might be older than I anticipated. A car driven by Oliver pulled up to the back of a certain bar. Inside, Zell's 4-person group was packed in with a few instrument cases.
Hey Zell. Is this for real? Yep, totally for real. Well, I'm feeling sorta embarrassed.
You really got Madame Rose's permission?
Of course. It was even Meryl's son who told us about this bar. Come on, let's go greet the owner. Time to get fired up. If our skill is playing instruments, let's show them what we've got.
While the three certainly had been encouraged to practice with musical instruments, they had never performed. After all, both in their alley days and now, that skill had been mocked as being useless. Wow, so it's like, you're useless, go find something you're good at, and then you find something you're good at, and that thing you're good at is also considered useless. Cool. Good environment for these people to be in.
I'm Rapunzel, here on Madame Rose's invitation.
Oh, so you're them, are you? I've been waiting. Could never refuse a group introduced by Madame Rose and Meryl's son. The cheery bar owner guided them to an empty space in the corner of the bar. He had cleared out the space for the performance. It was nice to get a second-hand upright piano, but we never managed to find someone to play it. Today we'll finally be able to breathe life into her. For a long time, the worn-out piano had been little more than a decoration. Every now and then, some drunk would play around with it, but they just hit the keys at random. No serious performance had been heard from it yet. Because of that, the keyboard had been locked up and the piano abandoned. What do you think, kid? Can you play it?
Go on, Oliver.
Zell pushed him from behind, and Oliver reluctantly touched the keys. After repeating that a few times, he sat down and tried a light performance. After a while, the silently listening bar owner finally lost control of his excitement and started clapping. Incredible! Oh yes, having a real player makes all the difference. Yes, this is the sort of bar I wanted. Hey Mom, you listening to this? The owner excitedly dashed toward the back of the bar. Oliver, who seemed more pleased by this reaction than he let on, turned red and continued playing. I've gotten stale. That was nothing worth complimenting. Charles, you're not supposed to say that.
True enough. When the old man was still alive, you were a lot better. guess that means you're all incredibly talented.
What is it?
You think so? If you played instruments in an alley, you wouldn't even get pocket change.
Apparently, they were completely unaware that their talents were on a level that made it possible to impress people.
Hey Zell, are we really that good? Yeah, no doubt about it.
The owner came back with his wife and a neighbor who had just happened to overhear. He calls his wife Mom. I know that's a thing. And it's a thing in Japanese as well, I believe, so it might just be like a direct translation. That's weird. Yeah, she's definitely like a good influence on these kids. Zella's great. And she just completely deflected a potential argument between Oliver and Charles too, like... Charles downplayed it entirely, he was like, yeah, no, you used to be better, you know? And she just completely redirected that into a compliment, which is really impressive. Especially for someone who, does not remember who they are. By then, Charles and Nina had finished getting their instruments ready.
Come on, let them hear it. Show them what you can do.
Charles and Nina looked at each other, then picked up their instruments. A feeling began to swell up inside them. A desire to see if their playing would really go over well, or not. Where'd they get the saxophone from? On that day, the bar saw more customers than it ever had before. It wasn't just that the sudden event caught their fancy. The skill of those three wasn't just flattery on Zell's part, but something more than sufficient to earn applause. Each time a song ended, a crowd of grunts rewarded them with a wave of shouts and unrestrained applause. The three of them had never been on the receiving end of so much approval. They had fished through trash in alleyways, had people call them filthy, or always being chased away. They were alley rats, never treated as humans. They had given up because of that. They probably never imagined that they would be bathed in applause one day.
I've never had people praise me like this before. Makes me nervous.
If you have enough time to be bashful, on to the next one.
You say that, but you're the reddest of us all.
Silence! On to the next one. Let's get started.
Zell, we don't sound weird, do we? Are we doing it okay? Of course. So be confident in yourselves.
The three of them looked at each other and nodded. They weren't timid anymore. For the first time in their lives, their faces showed confidence in themselves. Watching this, Zell understood the true goals of the old man who had taught them how to play. Surely, this very day was the thing he had wanted to show them. And tonight, the old man's goals have finally been realized. Oliver's piano playing was filled with vigor, as though someone was dancing on the keys. Charles's violin and Nina's string bass had no trouble keeping up. For the first time ever, they're learning that playing instruments can be fun. They had originally been scheduled to play for just an hour, but the owner was so impressed that he said he'd agree to let them play until they dropped. To those three young ones, a passionate performance was already becoming a sport. Their entire bodies were covered in sweat, and their heads swayed as they grew giddy from the excitement. However, They couldn't stop these feelings they'd never felt from making their youthful vigor explode. Perfect. I wouldn't mind playing until I fall over.
Of course, you are going to pay us extra for however long we play, right?
But of course! I know that even human jukeboxes don't play unless you keep putting money in. Even human jukeboxes. Emphasis human. The owner grabbed a bunch of crumpled bills from the register and held them up for them to see. Then, the drunks also grabbed some change and started throwing it into the violin case.
Oh. Whoa! Awesome! How much Nikamon could I buy with this?
Well, you can stack all the money up later. Let's do this. I'll play till I drop.
Good luck, you three. This should get you enough to eat for a while, no doubt. You've gotta do something too, Zell. It's not fair if we're the only ones sweating. Huh?
But I can't play any instruments.
You've got a beautiful voice, don't you?
Indeed. Zell's voice does carry well.
You get up here too. We're a 4-person group, not 3. That's right, we're already a 4-person group.
You at least know how to sing, don't you? Don't you run away when we've gone this far, Zell.
Huh? Sing? Me?
Huh? Huh? The drunks started cheering for him to sing. I've got no confidence at all in my singing abilities. But I'd fail as a woman if I didn't step up now. Zell has some interesting ideas about gender. Let me just put that out there. I vaguely remember something about her singing, but I think it was... It did definitely come up, but it was like 1 or 2 lines. I forget when it was, though. And so, starting that night, we were no longer just a group of 4 people living together. We were a 4-person group, literally eating out of the same pot. Almost immediately, we began to get a little well-known. By then, even the 3 who had thought of themselves as dropouts had to admit it. Their ability had given them excellent... Their training had given them excellent musical ability. And the most surprising part was that I had talent as a singer. Convenient.
It's time for another Kia. Zell, that was so incredible! You're an awesome singer, aren't you? I can't believe it. That was just crazy. Still, this is all thanks to you guys. You were all performing so excellently. I thought I just had to do something to help.
But to think you could sing so well, after being asked all of a sudden. Your guts are even more impressive than your singing.
You know, when we first heard we had to take care of a sick person who lost her memory, on the inside, we thought it'd be a total pain and...
Well, we didn't want to do it. To think it would turn into something like this. Life's so unpredictable.
It's all thanks to you, Zell. We really feel bad about how he felt at first. Anyone would think that if they were suddenly told to look after some kid they didn't know.
But we do know you now. We were a group of 4 comrades.
And we're not dropouts. If you hadn't encouraged us, we would have been losers for the rest of our lives. So, this is what you meant by raising our fortunes. It's about taking action. That's the easiest way to summon good fortune. You were never dropouts. You just didn't take action. There's still a ton more we can do. And then we'll be able to summon greater and greater opportunities. You're our goddess of fortune, Zell. I'll never ignore anything you say again. I'll do everything you say, even cleaning and laundry.
I don't like having someone else be the leader. But if Zell tells me to do something, I'll listen.
Cheers to the four of us. To our goddess of fortune.
And to our new songstress.
Thank you, everyone.
Oh, that was cute. I'll do a little extra save. Chapter end? Chapter end? Nope. It's not that I want it to end, it's just that, well, we have 2 left. Well, we're in the penultimate chapter at the moment. And I'm just curious as to how much longer it's gonna go, considering everything seems to be going well for now. But I still think that we're gonna like ramp up to bad times, and then have a cliffhanger, and then season 3. That's my take. But we'll see. Eventually, even the higher-ups at Primavera heard of our reputation. We received requests to play at other Primaveras instead, and we began to get popular in the nighttime scene. We performed at several places every night, pouring our young power and passion into our music. Oliver honed his piano skills more and more, and one club even ordered a used piano for him. Charles and Nina were very skillful, and performed with several kinds of instruments, not just strings. I still couldn't believe that I was able to keep up with them. Determined not to slow them down, I emptied my chest and filled it up from my stomach to my heart with my voice. As though I didn't mind if I died once the singing was over. Our strengths resonated together and earned us a grand applause every time. During this time, the city had a bit of a boom in live nighttime performances. The sound of instruments could be heard in cheap pubs across City 23. It was a tiny change that our 4-person group had made on the city. And also, though this was probably just people's imagination, rumors were going around that, perhaps because the customers stopped to listen to music, fights between drunks were breaking out less often. Maybe music had the power to bring peace to the world, at least a little. Or maybe it's Wayne's voice is cracking down on anyone who even looks at another person a little funny. Or maybe it's both. Maybe it's both.
Let's take a break for a bit. I'm starving.
Already? You have no stamina, do you? I won't stumble over something like this. I'll become a wolf of the air. Real quick. He needs to swap a setting. There we go. Here we go. Every time the tracking got lost, it would reset me, which looks real weird. So I had to fix that real quick, so I don't look weird. Yep, no, piano wolf, you know? Yeah, we've all seen one. In their hunting grounds, the music store, yeah. Let me try that sentence again, because I could not get through it the first time without laughing. I'll become a wolf of the piano. What does that even mean?
You really are passionate about this, Oliver. So, if you manage to eat well too, you'll become even more of a wolf. A wolf of the piano. That's hilarious.
I'm hungry! I'm hungry! Toss us some food, old man! Hey, does he eat the piano? Is that why he's a wolf of the piano? That can't be good for you. Good work, you four. Food's on me. Ask for whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a hand for this wonderful performance and our wonderful songstress.
Oh, thank you. Is it possible that you were a singer before you lost your memory? Who knows? But if so, that'd be pretty cool.
The past has nothing to do with it. Zell is Zell.
I get scared every now and then.
What if Zell's memory pops back and she goes away? It was something all three of them thought. Without Zell, they wouldn't be who they were now. What if they lost Zell and went back to being dropouts?
Don't worry. I apparently didn't have a home after all. Even if my memory comes back, there's nowhere for me to return to. Whether I have my memory or not, this group is where I belong. Zell, you're such a good girl. I can't breathe.
We were told to look after Zell, and she's already the one looking after us. We may have been dropouts when there were 3 of us, but not anymore. Not when we're a group of 4. Still a lot more cash we can earn. Look how much we've made today. Charles made a show of counting bills and everyone laughed.
With all this, we could buy a ton of Nikamon. Yeah! Hey, let's buy some Nikamon in Chinatown on our way back.
Do you have some disease where you die if you don't eat Nikamon? Well, we're pretty close anyway. Maybe we can just drop by on our way back. Uh-oh. The music stopped, which makes sense because they stopped playing, so I get why. But at the same time, the music stopping makes this entire scene a little more ominous.
Come to think of it, we're getting a lot of yuan bills today.
Yuan bills. The currency known as the Japanese yuan, which were used in cities under the management of the Chinese army. Of course, after being occupied by the American and Chinese forces, both Japanese dollars and Japanese yuan were in circulation. In City 23, Japanese dollars were overwhelmingly more common, but as you approached Chinatown, you started seeing Japanese yuan a lot more. This place is close to Chinatown, after all. Probably just happened to be mixed in.
When listening to music, nationality doesn't matter much, does it?
True enough. If you listened into the many conversations filling the bar, you'd hear a lot. You'd hear a lot that wasn't in Japanese. However, thanks to their music, the inside of the bar was filled with a peaceful atmosphere amidst the bustle. The Japanese and the Chinese were in high spirits, and both seemed to be enjoying the bar's atmosphere.
Oliver, You're thinking a fight might break out, aren't you?
I wasn't thinking that.
Your face is saying that if one did, he'd like to mediate it and earn some credit. How about it, Oliver? Do you still want to fight?
It's not like I like fighting. I just thought it was the only path that led to the ideal I wanted to become. I'd known that. Oliver certainly wasn't a person quick to pick fights. He just thought it was the only way to get closer to the ideal self he wanted to be. If a fight were to break out between Japanese and Chinese people here, I'd jump forward at any time. I'm a wild dog. I may play the piano, but I'll never forget my wolf's heart.
It's really important to look out for opportunity. Opportunities never come to people who lose the ability to do that. Your only problem is that you handled all the opportunities you've had until now with violence.
Yes, that may be.
I'm sure you'll get a huge opportunity before long. After all, your fortune is steadily rising.
Yeah. If I do what you recommend, luck will come. Even to me. Then, I feel as though I can seize the next chance if I do as you say.
Thank you. I'll make sure you can grab it. It's the only way I can repay the debt I owe you. You owe us? Come on, we're the ones who owe you. It's true. In fact, we've got to do something for you to clear the debt we owe.
We three dropouts will certainly repay our debts to you. Even if the world abandons you, we definitely won't. We'll always lend you our strength. Charles and Nina nodded. Zell felt her eyes getting hot.
Thank you. But now, I'm thinking I don't care if my memory comes back or not. As long as the four of us can always have fun together. You know, I have been starting to think that I could get used to this. It suits my nature. I'm 100 times better at this than nodding to every boring thing customers say to you.
Well, I don't want to abandon being a wild dog. Oliver made sure to mention that, of course. He didn't dislike this new lifestyle. It's just a regret of mine. Probably being selfish. The whole time I was living pathetically in alleys. I wanted to become a man of importance.
You wanted to be like Wayne some, didn't you?
Me, Charles, and Nina. We all wanted to become someone cool.
And you picked Wayne? And you picked Wayne.
The biggest loser on the planet in this universe. Alrighty then. They wanted to become cool. Like Wayne. Like Mad Dog Wayne. Like self-titled Mad Dog Wayne.
Too stunning. What do you...
What does that mean? Did he blind them with his fashion choices? Actually, it probably did, literally. Okay, to be fair, they lived in an alley. And you know, rummaged through trash for a living. So I can't really hold that against them that they don't know actual cool people. Like, ultimately, they're the victims here, so... Victims of society, you know? Yeah. So I won't be mean.
guess we just weren't suited for it. Well, yeah. We could have become like that. We'd want to. Even we're wild dogs. I want to accomplish something big and impress Wayne-san.
Yeah, that might be it. Like, he gave them some positive attention and they latched on like puppies. It's fine. If our music can stop even a single fight, we're helping Wayne-san.
We are basically helping out with what he said. Make sure Japanese and Chinese people don't fight each other.
Well, yeah,
This isn't so bad.
we've woken up from a dream that it's pointless to have. And now, we finally found a job we're suited for. That's why we're grateful to you, Zell. And that's why this is just a selfish regret I have. Sorry for talking so gloomily. Even though we could never thank you enough, I keep going on about something this trivial.
So, you all don't dislike music, but you still want to live as wild dogs.
The three smiled uncertainly. They had nearly given up on a position in the criminal underworld. However, it was hard to cut themselves off from their childhood dream to become a man like Wayne. I'm just full of lingering regrets. Forgive me. I'll try to be very accepting of this correct way to live. A life earning applause with the piano might be surprisingly hard to part with. How unmanly of me. How dare I act like a wolf? Don't take it badly, so I'm just, overexcited and rambling on, it seems. I'll go wash my face. I haven't had any alcohol, but still acting like a drunk. Oliver smiled apologetically and rose from his chair. As he did, Zell stood up too and called him to a stop.
Oh, it's okay, Oliver. I know. No, I've known for a while. No matter how much musical talent you all have, you're wild dogs with the hearts of wolves.
Here we go again, strap in.
It's the same for you two, right? Music is fun, but you want to become the sort of cool men and women you admired and impress Wayne-san, right? To be perfectly honest, I do feel that way a bit. Still, it's just not possible for a bunch of dropouts like us.
Sorry, just the Umineko-ish music in the background distracted me for a second. After looking at each one of their faces, Zell sighed. Then, she had Oliver sit down, had them all lean forward, and whispered as though telling a secret.
I meddled the way I did because I wanted you to stop thinking of yourselves as dropouts. And I wanted to repay the debt I owe to the people who helped me when I had nowhere to go. So now, I'll wipe out your self-impression of being wild dog dropouts.
The three had no idea what she was trying to tell them. However, Zell's forceful words and gaze felt like those of someone determined not to surrender to a glooming feeling.
Didn't I tell you? I've known for a while. I've known that you're all proud wolves. Mad dogs. I had you all play music so you could gain confidence, as the first step of returning to that goal of yours. Unless we blow away that defeated attitude, you won't be able to grasp opportunities. And by being bathed in applause by so many people like this, you've regained your confidence. Because you've regained that, you've regained your real dream. Your dream to become a cool underworld man like Wayne-san. Since you've regained that, we should move on to the next step. Well, what do you mean, the next step? Isn't it obvious? We are going to accomplish something great as wild dogs and regain Wayne-san's trust. Something great? How?
We haven't received any orders from Wayne-san, have we?
Not all opportunities have to be waited for. Sometimes, you can go and grab them. Do you think we've been going from bar to bar just to earn pocket change? I knew you'd say what you did, so I've been working you hard until now.
I'm pretty dumb, so I don't have a clue what you're saying.
I'm totally lost too.
Try remembering what sort of establishments we've been going to. Well, they've all been cheap bars, haven't they?
Yes, cheap bars. They were all bars where laborers gathered, after working hard searching for jobs every day.
I don't have a clue what you're saying. Shut up, fool. So, you don't mean...
Exactly. All the bars we've gone to have one thing in common. People who search for work at the employment agency. It's true that Wayne-san told us not to do anything that could get in the way. So we aren't. We're just going around performing in bars.
You mean, you've been going to bars where employment agency people hang out and...
Yes, I've been collecting information. The trouble in front of the employment agency, which Wayne-san was worried about. I was trying to find some way for us to help regarding that. Is that so? I thought you were just going around performing.
But we haven't picked up any info.
You are all absorbed in your performance. No, it's okay, that's enough. Because you made the atmosphere so peaceful, people were cheered. And that made them talk more freely. On top of that, we were performing here until a second ago, so no one thinks it's suspicious for us to be here. We've been able to openly gather information from what they've said to each other.
How long have you been thinking this?
Since the beginning. And if I didn't find anything that seemed helpful, I plan to let these end as mere performances. Which means, you've heard some vital information? Do any of you know what the backdoor employment agency is?
The three of them didn't know, and they wondered what she was talking about all of a sudden. They knew what the employment agency was. A lot of people gathered in front of it, waiting for day labor jobs. However, they had never heard of a backdoor employment agency.
When you add backdoor to it, it sounds pretty shady.
What on earth is this about?
That's right. Until today, I didn't know what they were talking about. Backdoor employment agency is just my liberal translation of the word, but Chinese people have been whispering about it in bars here and there. I see. There are bars near the employment agency, so a lot of Chinese people who gather at the agency are here too. But what is this backdoor employment agency?
Since you're telling us about it today, you must have reached some sort of conclusion.
That's right.
First, this is what the Japanese laborers complain about a lot lately. There's so many new outsiders, I can't get jobs anymore. It doesn't matter if wages have gone up if we can't get jobs. And after all Madame Rose did to raise wages.
Well, no one gets to take advantage of it, and their earnings have actually gone down.
Yeah, it is ironic.
But because everyone thinks that, they haven't noticed.
What do you mean?
Wages have risen.
That's why there are more outsiders. That's why there's fewer jobs to be had. Everyone's thinking that, so hardly anyone notices.
Some people have noticed.
A few of them were talking about it.
Hey, aren't there fewer trucks for jobs these days?
You think so? There's too many people for me to get anything, so I hadn't noticed. No, there's seriously fewer of them. Do you realize how long I've been here? Some employers I haven't seen at all lately. And I'm here from morning until night, so there's no doubt. But there's so many more people, it's hard for everyone to notice. I don't really get it. So, where did those disappearing trucks go to?
I see.
So, that's what it is.
Huh? What?
Someone, please give a moron a hand.
It's probably because of this backdoor employment agency.
Jobs managed by Primavera are supposed to be fairly distributed to laborers in front of the employment agency. However, what if someone decided to sell that fairness for money?
I don't really get it. Who's buying what now? People are buying high-wage jobs that they can't get no matter how long they wait.
The old daily wage was $200. It's $400 now. However, what if there's so many new people that you can only get a job once every 2 days? Even if wages are doubled, if you only get paid once every 2 days, it's the same as your daily wage being $200. What if someone then offered you a job where you got $210 every day? It was natural that poor laborers would listen to that sweet deal. Though a $400 wage is supposed to be paid, the laborers are swindled out of $190. However, if it means they can get a stable job, and in the end, it means those laborers would fall back into the swindled lifestyle that existed before Madame Rose. So, there are people trying to pilfer those wage increases Madame Rose created? Damn villains. No one's been able to tell, since they can't get jobs because of the increase of people. So, until I heard the phrase backdoor employment agency, the pieces didn't fit together.
Then that backdoor employment agency is
a place that sells jobs for money. You're supposed to get money by working, right? It doesn't make sense to buy jobs with money.
But in reality, there are villains who are trying to trample Madame Rose's goodwill and fill their own pockets.
What the hell? That's just wrong. However, we have nothing except rumors told by drunks. Yeah. Still too soon to tell Wayne-san about this.
Still, don't tell me... That's right. Getting the details on this story is our job as wild dogs.
If it's true, and we're able to get proof, wouldn't that be an incredible accomplishment? Zell stood up. The other three also hurried to their feet. Those who had shown the will to live as wild dogs. To those who had shown the will to live as wild dogs, there was no time to waste sitting around. Near the employment agency. Once again, this place is packed with laborers from other cities. Everyone's reaching the limits of their frustration, unable to get jobs as often as they'd like. I suspect that after this, it will be chapter end. But then I could be wrong. I could be extremely wrong. Originally, the employment agency was supposed to be a place for people to apply for work. However, there were hardly any jobs given to Japanese laborers who could only speak Japanese. At some point, it became common for Japanese laborers to gather in front of the agency gates and wait to be picked up for day labor jobs. By now, the space in front of the agency was packed, while the inside of the agency was practically empty. Oliver had come to the area in front of the agency. Of course, he was here. He was there to gather information. Poor-looking men were killing time complaining about the recent situation. By simply mixing in with them and keeping my ears open, I ought to be able to learn all sorts of things. All sorts of things like, American women sure are hot. Damn, I'd like to bang one of those. Yes, vital information.
It sure was a cockroach, but the bastard told me it was a burnt onion.
I don't know what that voice was. I'm never doing it again.
Damn it, what's that stench? A stinky tofu stand? Get that stinky tofu stand the fuck away from here.
They aren't talking about anything useful. Looks like it'll be faster to bring up a topic myself instead of waiting for someone to talk about what I want. Not many trucks coming. Are there fewer jobs lately or what? I muttered to no one. Down on their luck people are quick to chime in on opinions they agree with. I agree. Had a bunch more for a while, but there's clearly been less lately. Hey, are the trucks really coming here? They aren't gathering people somewhere else, are they?
Where are they doing that? Tell me now.
Idiot. We knew. What would we be wandering around here for? But I do know one thing. You remember that annoying mustache dude who used to gather people who would do unloading at the harbor? Oh yeah, I remember that guy. The bastard who gets all carried away just because we can't afford to strike back. You seen him lately?
Don't even want to see the likes of him.
Did that geezer's business go under? Serves him right if so.
You got that right. Serves the bastard right.
It's not true though. I saw that damn geezer at the harbor yesterday.
Yeah, I saw him too. He was still swaggering about with that screeching voice of his as usual.
If there were enough jobs to choose between them, I'd never work for a bastard like that. Got that right. But now we're stuck licking his boots and begging for jobs. Wonder if that geezer's hiring people somewhere else. Is there any place people gather other than here? There were several rules regarding jobs obtained through Primavera's special offers windows. One of them was that, when gathering day laborers, you could only do it in front of the employment agency. It was a measure in place to make getting jobs as fair as possible for the laborers. They were currently working on making a union to distribute jobs even more fairly. That would still take time. This was just a temporary rule until that was completed. If employers were gathering laborers away from the agency and on their own personal routes, that would be breaking the rules. However, this was no more than a gentleman's agreement. A gentleman's agreement established out of respect to Madame Rose and Primavera, the ones who brought City 23 back from the brink of destruction. It was only natural that, given time, there would be fools and villains who took that agreement lightly. At that moment, several job trucks arrived. The men gathered around them at once, half threatening the people in the truck to give them jobs. "Don't push me, don't touch me, you hit my shoulder, bastard." It was pandemonium. When Oliver tried to slip out of this struggle, a large man suddenly grabbed him by the collar. Uh-oh, that's the fight music. Get him ready. "You bastard. Think you could step on my foot and run away like you had nothing to do with it?" You have the wrong person. Try asking someone else. You mocking me, you little brat? Be a good boy and take out your wallet. Silence, scum. You call this a conversation? The area in front of the agency wasn't filled purely with good people with sweat in their brows, trying to get paid wages. It also had pickpockets, bag snatchers, and people like this, who accuse people of things to try and get some change. I'll need doctor's fees and compensation pay, obviously. You understand? Then hurry up and... The old Oliver would have fed the man's jaw a clenched fist at that very moment. However, the moment he clenched his fist, he remembered what Zell told him. Listen up. We're gathering information, right? Make sure you don't stand out. You hear me, brat? I told you to take your wallet out right now. If I really went wild on a guy like this, I'd have his face covered in blood before he could blink twice. But he held in his anger. And at the same time, he tried to figure out what to do. After all, he knew of no way to resolve situations like this without fighting. Then, some big old men grabbed the shoulder of the man pouncing on Oliver. Hey, you. You got guts trying to extortion in broad daylight. The hell are you? Got a problem with me, old man? Who are you with? You aren't from City 23, are you? You came from some other city, right? So what? Who cares where I come from? We've got this thing called a code at the City 23 agency. You got a problem with me? Oh, damn it. Get out of here while you can, kid. Don't you bother with this outsider. He saved me. Anyway, I'd better get away while I can. I got what looks like information, but even more importantly, I was a little happy that I'd managed to follow Zell's instructions. Zell, a better leader than Wayne, confirmed. I think it's safe to say from this. Okay, Club Primavera. If we had a camera, we'd be able to quietly find evidence without making a scene. They're pretty expensive, but there's probably at least one lady of the evening who has one, considering their high wages. It's Meryl. Alright, say goodbye to my vocal cords.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Here you go. Know how to use it? No,
Wow, that is not what I've been doing up until now.
No, not at all. You asked to borrow a camera without even knowing how to use one? Well, even you've had it tucked away forever, since you couldn't understand the instruction manual. Still, this is a pretty expensive toy, isn't it? I'm surprised someone as terrible with machines as you bought it. Shut up, you! Even I want to be like...
I don't know who this is, but making a quick note for the fun facts section that I haven't used in a while. Something to Google afterwards.
Shut up, you! Even I want to be like Kimura Ihei sometimes.
Meryl was holding a German-made camera. Once, when she had been slightly drunk and in an artistic mood, a regular customer had recommended it and she ended up buying it. Of course, it was more expensive than anything you should ever buy on a whim in Japan at this period. But what would you use a camera for? What would you use a camera for, perhaps? Because she's probably mocking Meryl.
Don't be stupid. Haven't you...
Oh, she's talking to Nina, okay.
Haven't you heard the good reviews these kids have been getting lately? Ah, I did hear about that. Zell started a 4-person music group, didn't she? Oh, so you're going to take pictures of that. So, are you finally going to get serious and use that for PR? Well, something like that. Come to think of it, you learned how to play music from the old man at the music shop, right? Looks like the phrase "art brings bread" is true. Good for you. Seriously.
In the past, when Nina had tried to make a living as a lady of the evening, she had been in Meryl's care. Meryl had done a lot to look after her, so she could become a woman capable of supporting herself, but
I'm sorry about all that. I've just got no talent for it. No need to worry. It's only natural that people will be bad at some things and good at others. Well, it's more like it was because of the way I talk. Come to think of it, that's an unusual dialect. Where's your hometown? On the border of the Toyama and Gifu prefectures, there's a... Well, anyway, only people from my village talk this way.
Nina spoke in an unusual dialect. Before the era of television, there used to be strong regional flavors in language. However, even among those, her style of speech was very distinctive, and it stuck out a little. I mean, that could be a selling point.
Nina, it wasn't that you didn't have talent. And it certainly wasn't because of your dialect. Your looks are good, your personality's good. That got a few of the girls envious, and the distinctive way you speak just happened to be the target of their teasing. Yeah, that does happen. Picking on a new girl like that. I should have kept a closer eye out. But some mean girls apparently took advantage of the fact that they'd been here longer. Well, being able to sidestep stuff like that casually is another talent needed for ladies of the evening. Nina, if you were ever lacking talent in something, that's all it was.
When some of the more experienced women saw this new girl getting regular customers with nothing but her attitude, they weren't happy. Nina, who had been raised in an alley, never received an education, and she couldn't tell any tasteful jokes. And above all, there was her distinctive dialect. There was no shortage of things to tease her about. However, the world of ladies of the evening isn't a greenhouse. You need the resilience to bear the frigid winds. Meryl was saying that, in this one point alone, Nina lacked talent. However, Nina hadn't liked hanging out with only women, not since the beginning. Ever since her days as an alley rat, I almost read that as alley cat, which introduces a whole different breed of animals into the mix, and I'm not sure for her having to deal with both canines, felines, and rats. Ever since her days as an alley rat, she had liked to move in packs with her wild comrades, unconcerned about gender.
What about now? Have you been able to do what you like? Been able, you say.
Meryl must be talking about that music stuff. However, I've set my sights on the wolf. I want to become a wolf, like Wayne-san.
It's more like, I'm gonna do it soon.
Oh?
Okay. I don't know what you're planning to do, but whatever it is, put all your heart into it. Women only get to do whatever they want to.
I can only get Meryl's voice out if I tilt my head up, and I can't read the text anymore because the window is so small. For some reason, it's such a teeny tiny little baby window. So I lost track of the sentence halfway through.
Women can only do whatever they want for a small part of their lives.
That's bleak. Before they get stuffed into a nursing home at the age of 25, I mean... That sounds like something Meryl would say to Stella, so you're probably not wrong. Nina borrowed the camera, bowed, and left the floor. Until now, whenever she entered an establishment of the night, she had been tormented by a feeling of inferiority. She herself was a dropout. But not anymore. She clearly knew what she wanted to do, and no one would stand in her way anymore.
Oh? If it isn't Nina. Long time no see. Oh, it's you guys. So, did you come back to the club in the end? Well, it's not like you could find any other job to feed yourself with. Hey, listen. I hear Sally got a customer to buy her a car. Me too. The other day, an American soldier bought me this incredible ring. Nina, have you been able to eat healthy? If you dropped by the club, I could at least give you some leftovers.
They were obviously making fun of her. Even though it had been some time since she quit the club, they still treated her as inferior. But Nina laughed easily.
What are you guys going on about? Well, if it makes you happy, I guess that's great. I've got other things I'd like to do. Hope we all get to do stuff we like.
And after saying that, she walked away confidently. I said it. I told them. Nina's chest was still pounding. I'm not a dropout anymore. I'm a wild dog. And I'm about to accomplish something big.
I'll get tons of evidence about that backdoor employment agency on this camera.
Harbor. Countless laborers are sweating here again today to support their families. A very large number of the jobs handed out near the employment agency are for this place. And there are times when I try to speak and no sound comes out, so that's gonna be it for today. Meryl murdered my vocal cords just as planned. Predicted. It definitely wasn't the plan. It's not Meryl's fault, it's my fault for wielding her power incorrectly. And then it backfires, you know, like in a dramatic anime series or something. She's an assassin sent to end the stream, that's true. And exactly what she did. Very reliable on that front. No, I can't even hate. Like the Terminator. That's true. I could just see her, like, you know, sinking into lava and doing a thumbs up, honestly. I guess that would make me John Connor, but also I've never seen these movies. I only know, like, the goofs and the references that everyone knows. So I don't know if that's, like, good or bad or, I don't know, anything. She would pull Stella in with her, and then do a thumbs up, while, like, pushing Stella down into the lava. 100%. And I love that for her, maybe. Do I? Probably not. I like Stella, I think she's fun. But yeah, I bet deep down they're friends, you know? Yeah, honestly, Cyborg Meryl, terrifying. She would be scary. She's already kind of scary, but like in a fun way. I don't want to know what she's like when she's scary. And also, like, mostly indestructible except for lava. Bad news. But that was a fun episode. I really wonder how all that's going to go. I really wonder. Sorry, I just noticed something on my model that I'll need to go fix. But I think I accidentally overwrote the original file, so oops. I can't just go fix this. I might have a backup, actually. I think I usually do. So fingers crossed that I'm smart. It's not like you can see, because the version I'm looking at is way bigger than yours. So I'm kind of nitpicking over nothing. I am going to save everything to... I haven't done that yet. I have not sorted that out yet. But this is an old file, so if I had... honestly, it's a miracle that I have the work file still. Yeah. I'm somehow smart enough to save all my, like, art files and stuff, so I haven't lost any of that. It was just video editing things, and I'm slowly working on rebuilding. So yeah, next week we're gonna be back with more Rose Guns Days. Keep an eye on the YouTube in the meantime. Maybe if and only if you are following the Baldur's Gate playthrough, because there will be a little bit of a special episode next week. You might have noticed I took a little break. That was to get some time to set everything back up again, do some recording with my friends, because yeah, we lost some stuff, but I'm gonna make up for the loss with a little recap video, and that should be kind of fun. I hope it's fun. And then after that, we're just gonna continue on with that playthrough. And in the long term, there will be other stuff on the channel again that I was planning. But the computer dying really messed my plans up a little bit. Okay though. I am not going to try honor mode. I haven't even tried technician. I have restarted another playthrough. I finished the game for the third time, and I immediately started again with the same character. It's literally the same character. I didn't even, like, make him a different class or anything. And yeah, I'm also playing with my friends, so that's another game with other friends. So and then I have two more playthroughs. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm normal about Baldur's Gate. It's oh, they added more stuff. If you have your save file from when you finished it, you should definitely go back because there's like a whole new epilogue thing. And no spoilers, but it's definitely worth checking out regardless. Definitely check that out. Also, I agree, yeah. I might have to cut that out because I think that's a spoiler. I'll cut that out. Yeah, no, I would definitely say get back into it. No worries. And I was working on a Shadows of Doubt thing with Iggy because I want to do more stuff with Iggy, of course, because that's my mascot, my boy. But yeah, then my computer broke. I was making really good progress, and then it broke. So it's gonna be a while. That's still coming, still on the way. And we're just gonna be back next week, I think. I'm unsure, but I think this season of Rose Gun's Days is going to be 2 more episodes. Maybe 3. Depends on how long I can read for. So after that, we're just gonna go straight into season 3. And then, yeah. By then, it will be next year, probably. Maybe not. Maybe not quite. Time flies. So that's the plans for everything. Yeah, honestly, I can kind of believe it because for me, it feels like season 2 has been taking so long. And it has. It's been at least 3 months. Probably longer than that because I took a break. Yeah, it was definitely a lot longer than season 1 was. So for me, it's felt like an eternity. So I'm actually glad that we're getting along and, you know, getting into the next season. The end is near, and I like that. Yeah, it's the new characters are fun. I like them, and I like the little bits of character development we're getting. I like that a lot. And not an episode goes by where we cannot roast Wayne over a bonfire. So that's fun. Love to roast Wayne. It's what he deserves. Alright. Well, I will see you again next week on Thursday with more Rose Gun's Days, or maybe on YouTube if you check that out. Please do. I work hard for the stuff that's on there. And if you don't check it out, that's cool too, because I like the work I do for the channel. But like, for real though, check it out. I don't know. Yeah. It is really easy to bully Wayne, but his crimes are many, okay? Not just his fashion crimes. And, we only punch up here, not down. Or we try to. Okay. Yeah, I say more than I say words now. Time for me to go. Thank you for watching. I had a good time. It was fun. I hope you enjoyed this episode as well. Thank God for noise gates, because there's fireworks outside. Yeah. I'll see you again on Thursday or wherever else. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being in the chat. Thank you for lurking, watching the VOD. You know the drill. Noise gates are really difficult for me too because I cannot raise my voice. So if I said it wrong, it will just cut out half of the words I say. But in this case, I was quiet and the firework didn't trigger it. So that's what I use my noise gate for, to gate noise if I say nothing at all. It's very sensitive. Like it's set really low, but it still works. So yeah. I had to redo all that stuff recently again because again, computer died. But I mean it I don't know, that does seem a little broken, yeah. It's definitely not supposed to do that, I don't think. But let's see. Yep, no, that's... Yeah. If it's broken, it's broken, I don't know. I did the whole thing. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it a lot. I already did the YouTube. See, normally I have a checklist, but since the computer problems, my brain broke, so... Yeah. Right. Have a good morrow. Have a good day, week, year, whatever's left of it, you know. Have a good 2023. And, have a good Thursday. And a good Friday. They get worse every time. So that's perfectly in character. Alright. See you again next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.